to our studio. Can you please go with your introduction of yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much for having us this morning. My name is David Jang. I'm a current councilman in Demarest, New Jersey right now. Just a little bit about my background. I'm an immigrant. I moved here with my family when I was about 6, 7 years old. We lived in the tri-state area for my earlier life, and later on moved to Fort Lee, graduated Fort Lee High School over here. One of the most important things that my family wanted to give us was the fact to give an opportunity. I'm from China, and at that time, it was a very oppressed scenario. It was leadership that believed in communistic ideas, where, again, we didn't believe in that. My family wanted to give us an opportunity to grow, to flourish, and what country could do that better than the United States? And we were so fortunate, graduated college from Baruch with an economics degree, and I lucked out with a job on Wall Street. Did fairly well, and when I exited Wall Street, I was fortunate enough to start my own business. I ran my business for about 20 plus years, started from nothing and grew it into a multi-million-dollar business. And right around COVID time, my mom got sick, I got sick, and actually my mom passed away at that point. And it was very important for me to use that as a position to start giving back to the community, to the country that gave me everything, gave my family everything. And I feel so passionate about it. So I got involved with the Community Chest of Bergen County, as well as the Bergen Chinese School. Those were all nonprofit organizations benefiting Bergen County and the families around here. From there, I wanted to do more. I wanted to get more involved with my town in Demarest. And so I decided to vote, to get involved with the government, municipal government, and I went for the council seat, which became available. The town was very supportive of my efforts at that point because we were running against the incumbents, against the machine. They had control of the county as well as the seats for over a decade. And for us to win, it was an uphill battle. It was door knocking. It was talking to the community, understand what the needs were. And so that's what we did. And we were able to beat them, beat the incumbents 3-1, which has never happened. And I became the first Asian American, Chinese American, to get voted into the council in the town's history, which has never happened. And from there, going in, this is my 3rd year in as a council person. Originally I was the fire and police commissioner. So we did a lot to support the police as well as the fire departments to make sure that they had the life-saving equipment that they needed and made sure that the police were given all the opportunities for them to grow as they needed. From there, I became the economic redevelopment chairperson for our downtown. And our economic redevelopment is very important. Demarest is a small community with a very small downtown, but the people and the community that live there love the downtown and love our community. We wanted to revive it. And what better person to do it than someone with an entrepreneurial background as well as real estate background. So last year I took on the task, and we're well underway to develop that opportunity right now for our downtown. So now, that being said, I wanted to do more, again, continue on the progress and do more for the district. That's why I decided to run for assembly for District 39, along with my running mate, Andrew LeBruno, who's the ex-mayor of Dumont. And it's so important, Steve Fulop, who's the mayor of Jersey City, he's running for governor, and he asked us to run alongside with him so that we can make a big change for District 39. And as probably some people would not know, an assembly person is someone who is equal to a congressman on a federal level, but creates laws for the state. So I think it's so important that, again, we have minority representation, we have family-oriented people who have common sense values to represent our district, and that's what I want to do going forward. So thank you so much for your time.
Wow, amazing. That's great. Can you introduce yourself too?
안녕하세요. 조일대입니다. 저는 데이비드 와이프고요. 슬하에 이제 아들과 딸을 키우고 있습니다. 저희가 현재 8년째 데머레스트에 살고 있고요. 저희가 처음 입주할 때부터 남편이 항상 이런 사회에 대한 헌신과 봉사에 큰 사명감을 갖고 있기 때문에 방금 들으신 것처럼 이제 기회가 올 때마다 항상 캡처를 하고 또 항상 봉사 정신으로 있다 보니까 기회도 오는 것 같습니다. 많은 분들의 지원 부탁드립니다.
저기 그 대표님 용수 잠깐 꺼주실 수 있으세요? 꺼주실 수 있으세요? 이제 끝났어 우리 벌써.
끝났다고? 진짜?
아니 한번 다시 껐다가 다시 시작하세요.
중간에 끊는 편집하기 쉽지 않아요.
No, you were great. You really.
Oh, what, one shot. One shot. Oh, okay.
아니 그런 건 아닌데 그냥 가.
왜냐면 뜨면 스트리밍을 다시 설정해야 돼.
아 그래.
피를 그냥 가.
See, I'm learning.
Oh.
Because we're trying to do the live streaming, so I didn't know that we could then stop. So maybe that's why it's live, right?
That's why, yeah. Guess so.
Is there something else that you wanted to add on or?
What would be like, what do you think of a education system throughout the whole Bergen County?
Sure.
Can you tell us about like current status with like education and what could be better, things like that?
Sure,
Do you want
absolutely.
to chime in about for the kids who are bright too?
Yeah. So Bergen County, especially North Bergen, we have such a great school system right now. We are probably top of the nation from a New Jersey perspective, but even in New Jersey itself, Bergen County has done really well. And for our district, 39, we think there's room to improve. Northern Valley Demarest and Northern Valley Otapan are great schools. However, there's room for improvement on both sides because we want to make sure that the kids who are excel in their studies can get that support on the gifted and talented side, as well as we want to make sure the kids who have special needs also get their side as well. And you can't just count on the local municipalities to fund all of these operations because it's too much. We need the state to make sure they give the proper aid to the counties and to the communities that need it the most. And definitely our area, even though it does well, we could always improve. And I believe on a state level, I would be supportive to increase that support to the communities in our district.
I totally agree that certain schools like, we call wasn't it like blue ribbon?
Yes, it is. Oh, both of those schools I think are definitely MVD is blue ribbon at this point. I'm sure MVOT received it some time ago. So, but definitely. And even though they're blue ribbon, that's a national honor. On a state level, there are schools that are all better. Our ranking wise are really good, but we could always improve. And I believe on a state level, if we can fund a little bit better and more actively, it would help improve the area. Sure.
It has been the admission system has been totally changed and it's keep changing for college.
Yeah.
So for example, like, not anymore only SAT or ACT and things like that. There's, still some kids, they don't even take SAT. They still go to Ivy League.
Yeah.
So the culture of this college admission has been changed, which I love the idea. That's what America made different, right? So in that sense, if you get the more fund from the state, what do you think you could make it better for the education system in New Jersey?
So I think education in New Jersey, and especially just in our district, what's more important is to give options. I know we have specialized schools such as Bergen Academies and Bergen Tech, but it should be more accessible for more kids. Right now, it's based on your district and based on test scores and based on other factors that only a very small amount can go into. We really need to expand the program a little bit more so that more kids who are gifted, who have, maybe they're not on the top 5%, maybe they're top 15%, can also have the ability to get into better and more accelerated programs. They do that in New York City already, which is, I think, a good replica for us to follow as a model and things to improve on that section.
Also, at the same time, I personally believe when we really focus on education, right? Like I think that's what makes the municipality beautiful,
Yes.
right? Because I only believe, I just want to brag about Korean and Chinese. We moved into Bergen County, the majority of Korean American, and we bring the school system ratio up, right?
Yes.
Am I right? And then because of that, Korean and China, all this Asian population increase, like what do you call that? The property value going up, and it makes everything like safer, and it's what made our area the best. So in that sense, I think education is the most important issue that could make a difference. In that sense, like, what would you do to make our school system better? Not only admission to colleges or anything like that, but like these days, kids need more than economic support, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So other economic support, what could you do?
So, from a state perspective, I think what the Assembly and the Senate can do, there's funding, definitely on the financial side, definitely on the grant and aid side that we can support. What else we can do is also there's laws in place that create certain opportunities. Maybe we could expand on certain areas in that regard to, again, give more opportunities to kids from an after-school program perspective, from other levels of support outside of the school, which makes it more attractive for people to come into this area. And to your point exactly, the real estate value, especially in Bergen County and North Bergen County, it really has increased because of the school systems and because of the limited availability of homes in the area. And I can speak to Demarest alone right now, which is, again, the population is trying to grow, but we have limited space. And there are many families that want to come into the area because of our school system, from early pre-K, we have a great pre-K system, all the way through to the high school system. And that's really due to the Board of Ed. They're doing a great job. And yes, our property has definitely exploded, and it will continue to go on that path as long as we make sure the educational system is there and to increase availability to do more for the after-school programs.
I was one of the function for political function, and these days, like, there's a lot of working moms, but in that sense, like I raised my daughter as a single mom, but
Oh my goodness. Okay.
it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Whether you have a husband or not, like, being working and and taking care of kids, it's a lot of work. So do you have any ideas or plans for those working women, and that equals to like, after school programs.
Sure, sure, absolutely. I think it's important to offer support, from a state perspective. If we can offer it, some sort of aid as well as some sort of maybe tax break for after school programs, I think we should try to look at that avenue again for working families as well as single parent families. It's definitely important. It's something that I think we should look at. Sure.
한번 우리 리캡 좀 한번 해주시겠어요? 말씀하시면.
오케이. 현재 데이빗이 방금 설명드렸던 것처럼요. 이제 현재 교육에 관해서 많은 관심을 가지고 계십니다. 그중에 이제 하나가 이제 어떻게 하면 아이들이 더 많은 opportunity로 뭐 학교 내에서 도움이 필요한 아이들도 있지만 또 너무 잘해서 좀 더 챌린징한 클래스를 듣고 싶거나 그런 프로그램이 지금 좀 부족한 상황입니다. 그래서 스테이트 레벨이나 페더럴 레벨에서 펀드를 받아서 양 필요한 분들, 학생들에게 좀 더 지원을 해줄 수 있는 프로그램을 만들 수 있게 도움을 하고 싶고요. 또한 이제 많은 분들이 이제 working parents인 가정에서 자라는 아이들이 학교 끝나서 할 수 있는 프로그램이 굉장히 리밋돼 있습니다. 그 아이들을 위해 프로그램을 좀 더 향상을 시킬 수 있고 좀 펀딩을 받아서 after school이나 주말이나 가능한 프로그램들을 좀 오픈을 할 수 있는 그런 기회가 펼쳐졌으면 하는 소망이 있습니다.
감사합니다. 한국말 영어 좋네요.
She's very good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I am, and she also is fluent in Spanish as well. Yeah, so she was born in Brazil, and then she lived in Paraguay. So, yeah.
네, 그래서 제 한국어가 초등학교 6학년 한글학교 수준.
It's okay. As long as you can communicate, that's good. Alright, so 마지막으로 그러면은
네네.
한 가지 I'm sorry. So last question. What would you say about the safety in like school? There's a lot of like shootings in school, a lot of hate crimes, a lot of bullying. Like,
Yeah.
do you have any?
Yeah, I think I'm sure there's current laws in place already for hate crimes, especially in schools already. And I know for certain because I was the liaison to our school system or still current liaison to our school system in Demarest. They practice drills all the time, probably on a monthly basis. They practice intruder drills, active shooter drills, the police as well as the administration, school administration. They practice all that all the time, as well as the kids are actively involved. What we can do best is to make sure we educate our children, make sure we talk to our children, make sure we understand the problems that they're facing so that they don't resort to this last desperate cry for help. And that's what I believe most of the time are. It's a mental issue, it's a psychological issue that they're not getting enough attention on, and then drives them to a lot of things that are questionable to that degree. But we're fortunate in our area where I believe, we have a lot of caring families, a lot of people who talk with the kids, and I think we need to make sure we continue to support the mental wellness and the mental well-being of all of these kids from a school perspective, and as well as educating the parents and letting them know that what needs to be done at the home level so that the child never falls into that category.
Anything that you want to add on to?
해주셔서 감사합니다.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Really, thank you so much for this interview. Thank you so much for the community involvement on this. It's really important at this point in this juncture that Asian Americans, step out, vote, get represented, make sure your voices are heard. You pay the taxes, and one of your other opportunities, your benefits, is to make sure you get to vote. And when you vote, you have a choice. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity. 감사합니다.
우리 한국말로도 한번 하시겠어요?
시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 데이비드 지양이 얘기한 것처럼 저희의 투표 하나하나가 정말 저희의 right이고 권리입니다. 저희 보이스를 크게 에이시안으로서 넓힐 수 있고 또한 저희가 이렇게 이제 본인이 스스로 이제 저희 모든 에이시안 아메리칸을 위해서 일하고 싶다고 하니까 많은 도움 그리고 투표는 저희가 프라이머리가 June 10, 6월 10일이고요. 그리고 General Election은 11월에 있습니다. 저희가 앞으로 많은 메일러를 통해서 저희 District 39에 많이 저희가 이제 방문을 드릴 텐데요. 그냥 그런 메일러를 버리시지 마시고 한 번이라도 읽어봐 주시기를 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you.
너무 예쁘게 잘 나오셨는데?